And some Denton residents got right to work cleaning up the tornado damage. Fox 4's Alex Boyer is there now, where there has been wind damage and now the concern of flash flooding. Alex.
Yeah, that's right, Clarice. And I can tell you over the past hour or so, we've seen easily a dozen city workers here working diligently to try to get this area cleared. Residents here in this neighborhood tell me things got really bad for about 15 minutes tonight. And once things calmed down, they came outside and that's when they saw dozens of downed trees as well as power lines. Now, neighbors checked on one another to make sure that everyone was okay, then grabbed their chainsaws and got to work trying to clear the roads. One tree crashed down on a yellow Ford Mustang parked in the driveway off Live Oak Street near Robinwood Lane. Thankfully, no one was inside. Another giant tree crashed to the ground. Had it fallen in the other direction, it would have crushed one man's home.
Didn't hear anything particularly loud or anything, just a lot of wind, a lot of wind noise, and then looked outside when the wind calmed down and saw that.
Now, just a few miles away on Teasley Lane near Interstate 35E, flash flooding caught drivers off guard. We watched as several drivers tried to make it through the rising water, but one woman's car got stuck. A guy eating at a nearby restaurant carried her to dry land. We talked to both of them.
It stopped moving, the car, and then after that, I was like, I could not move it anymore.
Yeah.
So.
And then what did it feel like to be rescued in a sense?
I'm very grateful. Right. Thank you.
It's just a matter of you don't want to be in a stalled car when it's flooding, you know. You just want to make sure to get them out, get them dry land, and just worry about the car last.
Now that water eventually subsided and the road reopened to traffic. The woman's car, however, had to be towed away. And as we come back out here live, you can see lots of action in the distance. There are all of those City of Denton workers I told you have been working over the past hour to get this giant tree right here cleared from the road. It was actually covering this road here. It's easily 50 feet tall. You can see how thick it is. So it took those workers a long time and several chainsaws in order to break it down and get it off the road. You can see now that they're done in this area, they are making their way down the street. They're going block by block, seeing where their services are needed, trying to clear this area and make sure that it is accessible for residents to get out and go about their business. Clearly, I can tell you, Clarice, folks I've talked to here tonight are very grateful for their actions.
Indeed, and it was good to see that Good Samaritan and safety for all the crews working tonight. Thank you very much, Alex. And there's damage at Eagle Mountain Lake. This is on the eastern side of the lake near Harbor One Marina. One of the boat dock coverings is on its side. Another is missing some of its shingles, and several trees are also down. Fox 4 viewer Mike Menard shared this video of the storm. He was driving on Highway 199 to the west of Eagle Mountain Lake, closer to Azle. The Eagle Mountain Lake Fire Department reported seeing a rotating wall cloud around the time that Mike took this video. Several families in Argyle are dealing with flooding inside their homes. Fox 4's Blake Hansen is there tonight with their stories. Blake.
Clarice, neighbors tell me that this is something they've dealt with before, the flooding. It's been a point of frustration between them and the city, but one man told me this is as bad as it's ever been. You can see the water now. It is flowing in the ditch where it is supposed to be running off, but imagine it being a couple feet higher, even more in some points in this neighborhood, and that's what we were dealing with earlier in the evening. When we got out to the neighborhood around 7:30 tonight, Skyline Drive and Valley View Court, we could see rescue crews, swiftwater rescue crews, still headed into that neighborhood, bringing in a boat. Now, fire crews tell me that they did not have to make any rescues, but there was a point of concern about whether or not people would be able to get in and out of their homes. It was essentially a river running down parts of Valley View Court. It was tough to walk through that fast-moving water. I, at one point in time, almost tripped going through it, and so there was concern about people being able to get in or out, so crews were going door to door to check on people. Now, a lot of people in this neighborhood knew that this rain was coming. They sandbagged in advance around their doors. Others did it last minute, tried to keep water out, but some were unsuccessful. Water did get into some people's homes out here. They have been letting people back in and out, going freely from their homes, just checking to make sure that they can do so safely. But there is some damage out here, not just to homes, but as you can imagine, with that swift water coming through people's yards, damage your property as well. Take a listen.
It came all the way to right about here, and it came around the corner. And I've got a broom that I've been pushing the water out.
Not this time, because I saw on the news it was coming, and we're boarded and sandbagged.
So crews have been checking on people. American Red Cross came out this evening as well to make sure that people had what they need out there. Obviously, the concern for people is that the ground is incredibly saturated. They just dealt with this flooding now, and now there's more rain in the forecast for the rest of the week, so people are going to be on their toes dealing with this. We saw people from the city out here keeping an eye on it as well. As I mentioned, neighbors have been incredibly frustrated with some of the flooding problems out here. They say they kind of expected this to happen, so you can expect this story to continue from there. Clarice.
Yeah, and Blake, we can hear how loud that rushing water is, and as you said, flooding a major concern. Blake Hansen, live in Argyle, thanks. Lots of homes and businesses are in the dark because of the storms. Tarrant County has the most power outages in North Texas, with more than 1,500 customers in the dark. In Dallas, 90 customers are without power. Collin County, about 40 homes and businesses are affected. In Denton, more than 200 customers are in the dark. In Grayson County, more than 500 customers without power. Now, these numbers are down by hundreds from where they were just an hour ago, so progress is being made. Right now, we want to remind you this is the perfect time for you to download the Fox 4 Weather app. The app has live radar, emergency alerts, traffic, and a lot more weather information, and it is free in your app store.